Hello everyone, this is Visual Novel Gamer here, and I'm back with Katawa Shoujo. Last time we got invited to meet the parents, and I tried to figure out more what's troubling Emmy, and she completely shut me down, saying she can't trust me and all that. So, let's continue. What an interesting development. Maybe we're getting closer after all. Maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Or maybe she's just being polite, and a free meal sounds like a good way to apologize for last night. Right, now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. I settle for a combination of all three and hop in the shower. Oh, that was quick. I don't think I like riding on the bus. I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot and they smell funny, and you could feel every bump in the road. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making a clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up to her prosthetics so they don't look so obvious false again. But that doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clink. I shift nervously in my seat, and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. She doesn't seem to mind the stares. Either that, or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'll notice any more. Not that I ever, not that she'll ever tell me if I ask. Matter of fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer, while at the same time pushing me away. The nurse said she trusts me, even if it doesn't look like it. But I'm not sure I could trust the nurse. He's protecting He's protective of Emmy, just like I'm protective of Emmy, and I'll be likely to say something to make her look good if someone asks me about her. So he might just be doing that. Still, there was something about the way he seemed genuinely surprised that Emmy invited me along. Maybe last night's talk helped more than I think, but I'm still worried. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? The nurse said parent. Not that I haven't already met Emmy's mother. That was just as an acquaintance. Now it's going to be as Emmy's boyfriend, with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago, that it might as well be another life entirely. Except that I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have the medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if only I can manage my relationship as well as I manage my heart, I'll be in great shape. Well, we're here. Emmy grabs my hand as soon as we step off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we got a couple of blocks until my place. What? Oh, okay. I follow Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequent. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh yeah? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. This sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. And from the look on Emmy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, your mom before Sodi Sodi Soto time being by herself. Amy laughs, either from the relief that I didn't ask about her father or finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. That's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know. She just prefers to be a guest rather than a host. It's less stressful that way, or so she says. Clearly, she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Emmy giggles again and says in a teasing tone, Nervous, Sal? You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big of a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No, I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh good, now I feel twice as nervous. Though to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we got something special after all. Bolstered by this new thought, I managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door. Hey Mom, open up, we're here. The door swings open and Miss Izabaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emmy's. I'm never going to get used to that. You know, people will normally wait for a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. Ah, of course. Welcome home, dear. I miss you. An affectionate hug later, we're inside. And it is only then that Emmy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. And hello to you too, Hisao. How are you? I'm quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Ah yes, you finished up your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. Certainly a weight off my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Emmy's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Emmy. You know, I get worried when you all get all wind up about, well, exams. Certainly, Emmy mothers know something. I don't. Or rather, she doesn't know that Emmy tells me about her nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe how Miss Izubaki covers for Emmy. That protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emmy's willing to tell me. I suppose Emmy got more in common with quirks that I didn't ever realize. Move around fast, impossible to understand through direct observation, yet she has an effect on everyone she encounters. I wonder if Miss Izabaki will figure that out. I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody? Yeah, it's not as bad this year as in the past. It's not helped me to stay focused. Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day and told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing she looks forward to during exams. So maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little makes me feel a bit better. Emmy mom raises an eyebrow at this statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy, or she's as surprised as I am. Well then, it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I'll tell you to take good care of my daughter, so, but it looks like you're already doing that. Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride in me having managed to integrate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's got me out and running. I've probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was even before. I actually never thought of it that much, nor had I ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pick-up games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckle quietly, then realize that I never finished my statement. Well, before I had my heart attack and winded up at the school here. I comes out so casually. There was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me after all. Now, it just seems silly to care, especially in company of Emmy and her mother. Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, and so can I. I think back to the track meet where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to have bothered her, at least not in public. Being stuck in the wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side in people. I never quite figure out how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes she got for starters. I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If Ren wasn't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you too. Oh, that reminds me, Ren says hello. I drifted to the outer edge of the conversation again as we moved into the dining room to eat. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive. Whoa, you made enough to feed an army in here. Is it too much? Well, you could always take some leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said. Thanks, Mom. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Mia salts her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So, Hisao, I heard that you and my daughter have gotten rather close. That thinks why she said it like that. The urge to say something like not really is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reset control. We are close. There's no going around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and her mother seem to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. Yeah, I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. You make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao. Well, I, for one, find it a relief. Why is that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made many close friends. This is a bit of news to me. I always see Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallway. And certainly the whole tracks team seems to love her. It's true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Red and me. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl, after all. Then again, I experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say I'm that surprised. I was beginning to have my doubts. Emmy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't make out. Huh? What? What's the thing you just said? Nothing. Miss Izabaki chokes on her drink with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emmy. I'm going to have to talk to him about correcting my daughter. Somehow I don't think that would be very effective. I learned most of it from you anyway, not the nurse. No, I don't like that look. I know what that look means. Don't listen to her, Hisao. She's a born lie. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know, Emmy. I think your mother has a point. What? You traitor. You're supposed to take my side in this. Yeah, but you did lie about your legs after the meet. Ow. A kick in the shins from an unmistakable plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Miss Izubaki's eyebrows shoot upwards. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal. That's all. I just was in a wheelchair for a bit. The last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Emmy's mother. I suspect she has experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. So that's why he keep dodging my calls. Oh, Emmy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course. She spent enough time in a chair just after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately. No, she had to finish healing up before they let her start the sort of therapy you got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since she wanted to run in them. I had no idea. Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Ren's mural at the festival? Emmy's sudden change of topic makes me realize blatantly that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. I should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother. No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I catch a glimpse of it at your track meet, it seemed pretty weird to me. I think that's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about it being dreamlike or trying to make it dreamlike. Ren's art is one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Ren expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't usually understand otherwise. But all the same, she doesn't think it actually works that way. I'm surprised that Amy talks about this with Ren extensively enough to have Ren's opinions such as it is. Although I expect that Ren could not, if she were so inclined, to say the same thing about Emmy's. Unless, of course, Emmy's is purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely, but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thoughts for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey Emmy, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Are you going to visit your father this year? From the way she says it, you think Emmy's mother was talking about the weather. From the way Emmy reacts, it's clearly not the weather they're talking about. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards as if she's just been slapped in the face. Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds bitter, strained. Looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. It seems that Miss Izabagaki misjudged just how close Emmy and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversate about with me around. Her father is one of those things. The accident that took her legs is probably another one of those things. If her reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself is any indication. It doesn't take Emmy's mother long to realize she screwed up. Of course you can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just wanted to ask so I could make plans. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Emmy fidgets nervously, as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She only just mentioned her father to me earlier today, less than a few hours ago, even. Why does a simple question about whether she will visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whatever sanity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated, or it didn't help as much as she thought or claimed. Be right back. Gotta visit the little girl's room. Emmy gets up and suddenly leaves the table, leaving me and Miss Izobaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay here? It's obvious that Emmy's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to know what it is. Oh, sorry. How to go about it? Talk to her mom, go after her. I'm definitely talking to the mom, but I'm saving. She left because she doesn't want to talk. Why would I go after her then? Let's talk to the mom. There's an awkward silence at the table for a while after Emmy dashes off. I can't think of anything to say. Emmy mother's sighs breaking the silence. Sorry about that, Hissa. I sometimes forget that Emmy's touchy about certain subjects. And I was talking about the wheelchair thing too. Should I go after her? Heavens no, she didn't leave the table to continue the conversation, you know. But if she's trouble, shouldn't someone help her? If it were anyone else, I'll say yes, but my daughter is stubborn as a mule, and if she wants to be alone, it's best to let her be alone. Otherwise, she'll probably say something she'll regret, which would cause you to say something you'll regret, and I would prefer that dinner doesn't end with one or both of you storming out of the house. If that were to happen, I'll be a terrible hostess, won't I? I already acted as a fool once today. That's okay. I shouldn't have brought up the wheelchair, apparently. Miss Izubaki frowns, clearly more bothered by Emmy's omission than she let on. I wish you wouldn't do that. It just makes me worry more, you know. She does this often? When running off to the bathroom? No, I can't say she does. Keeping injuries from her mother, though, well, that's a little more common. Every time I catch her lying like that, she assures me that the only reason she didn't tell me is because it wasn't a big deal. If it's any consolation, I'm sure the only reason I knew about it at all was because I saw her every day. This lacks a dry chuckle from across the table. Miss Izubaki sighs a little sadly. Still hesitating about getting close to people, huh? I keep hoping she'll get over that. It's funny, really. She bounced back so well from the accident in so many ways. I guess some things never really go away. From the looks of it, the whole thing still bothers her too. She seems to be a little more willing to talk about the accident without Emmy around them. Hey, I got a question if it's alright. Oh? What else did Emmy lose in the accident? The nurse said that she gets this way near the anniversary and she won't talk about it to me. So you thought I'd fill you in? Yeah, hopefully. Well, there's a problem with that request, you know. Let me guess, you promised Emmy that you wouldn't tell anyone she didn't want to know, and you don't know if she wants me to know. Something like that. I promised Emmy that she'll be the one to tell people the full story. But isn't that important? I mean, it's clearly had a huge effect on her. If she's still like this so long after the accident. That's true, it did have a long-lasting effect on her. There are a few things that she'll probably never really get over. For a moment, Miss Izubaki looks incredibly saddened, as if an old wound is bothering her. I suppose there's a few things I'll never really get over either. Another dry chuckle, and with a shake of her head, Emmy's mother banishes the thought. Look, there's something you must understand about the way Emmy thinks about the accident. What's that? It wasn't a big deal. Okay, that's surprising. That's really, really surprising. It was a huge deal. Somehow I managed to keep my mouth from falling in surprise, but it takes some effort. That has to be the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. I beg your pardon? Okay, maybe it's not that simple, but it's a pretty accurate summary. Emmy believes that the accident did not define her, and that everything she lost that day didn't define her either. She's not the girl who lost her legs. She's the fastest thing on no legs. Her optimism and energy came out of that wreck without a scratch as far as she's concerned. Yet it goes beyond that, doesn't it? I mean, last night she told me that she refused to rely on me because it would make losing me too painful. Not really. You said she won't talk to you about the accident even though you asked her about it before? The reason she won't talk about it even when you ask, is because to her, it's not something you absolutely need to know. Even if she wasn't terrified of getting close to anyone, she'll still want to talk about it. She's afraid of being close to me? Oh goodness me, yes. For all the talk about being unscratched by the accident, she's gained the ugly knowledge of how quickly it can all be over. So she's not going to let people get especially close to her. And she certainly would resent any implication that cannot work through this on her own. But I don't think she can. Oh no? Are you saying you've been dating my daughter and not someone else? Trust me, so she could go through it on her own. But she has these nightmares and can't sleep well, and she does this every year. Tell me, if she wasn't able to get through it on her own, do you really think she'll still be alive? She would have killed herself or something equally dramatic. So what, I shouldn't try to help her? I didn't say that. I hate seeing my daughter like this, and knowing that she could rely on someone else would let me relax. You just need to understand that accepted help goes against everything Emmy thinks about herself, and the way the world works. If you still want to offer her help, then I guess that's your call. Honestly, I like you too, but it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. You just need to be patient with her. She's already closer to you than anyone else she's ever met at Yamako. Well, it sure doesn't feel like we're very close. Uh-oh. Oh god, she heard that. What's that face? I hate that face on her. Good. That makes this part easier. Emmy's voice nearly gives me a heart attack. Oh, didn't hear you come back, Emmy. How convenient. Wait, were you eavesdropping? Nope, just happened to come back at the right moment, I guess. Emmy, Hisao was just... Emmy holds up a finger, cutting her mother off. On his way out of the house. Yeah, I know. What's that face? Emmy's trembling with anger now, looking visibly betrayed. Emmy, don't be ridiculous. We were just... You promise. The pain carried in that last word, it's almost too much for her to bear. The idea that I couldn't hurt her that much is like being kicked in the gut. Emmy's mother looks similarly pained by the thought. And I kept that promise. Just listen. There's no reason to go throwing people out of the house. Emmy's mother seems to be both angry at her daughter's outburst and embarrassed that I'm a witness to it. There's only one real solution to this problem, I think. It's okay. I'll go. Now really, that seems a little unnecessary. Don't worry about that. Thank you for the dinner, Miss Izabaki, and for the advice. It was my pleasure, Hisao. I'm sorry we didn't get to the dessert. That's okay. I have to watch what I eat anyway. Good evening, Emmy, Miss Izabaki. The formality of our conversation, coupled with the fact that I'm getting ready to leave, seems to snap Emmy out of her anger. No, wait, I'm sorry. I've been so... Oh, after last night, I just thought... You don't have to go. I take it back. It's okay. I can't help but smile slightly. She can barely articulate her apology, and I really would like to stay. But I don't think I can right now. I need to think about what her mother said and about what I'm going to do about us. I don't want to risk accidentally getting Emmy angry again in our current state either. Nah, I think it's better I leave. I think I'll better leave. You seem pretty shook up. And well, I only wind up trying to help you again. I know you prefer I didn't, so I'm going to leave instead. But, hey, it's not a problem. You don't want a night on a late charger, right? Just promise me one thing, okay? What? Don't be angry at your mom, okay? She was just giving me some advice, that's all. Emmy nods hesitantly, like the simple idea is all that she could grab onto at this point. She's so terribly off balance, but can't do anything about that right now. Okay. See you tomorrow, okay? Running in the morning, don't forget. I can see that I hurt Emmy by deciding to leave, but there's nothing I could do for her as things stand, and I know that she's too stubborn to admit that she wants me to stick around. I watch various emotions cross Emmy's face as she tries to process everything that just happened. Shortly comes that calm look again, like last night, and the voice that tries so hard to sound careless. Sure, Isao. See you around. Both of us are unwilling to concede motion at this point. I'm having a hard time keeping up my facade, so I turn to my heel and walk out the door. I shut it behind me slowly, pausing for a moment as the latch catches in my hand on the doorknob. Did I make the right decision just now? Should I have stayed and tried to work things out? No, I decided. Not in front of her mother like that. In spite of everything, I'd rather keep Emmy's mother isolated from this. Sorry, give me 1 second. No, I decided not in front of her mother like that. In spite of everything, I'd rather keep Emmy's mother isolated from the sort of anger that surfaced last night. Even though she's probably used to it, some protective instinct wants me to keep Emmy's image as a cheerful girl intact. With a start, I realize my hand is still resting on the doorknob. I take my hand away, put it in my pocket, and head down the slowly darkening street. I let out a long breath. The wait until tomorrow morning comes isn't going to be easy. In any case, I have to think of what to say to Emmy. I must apologize and I must get through to her somehow. On that account, something has been on my mind for most of the way back to my room. Sorry, give me a second. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. The letter of apology from Annika. I was so concerned about my new life when I received it that I didn't even bother to really read it. Now that I found myself in a similar position, my curiosity got rekindled. What did she want to let me know so badly? If nothing else, reading her thoughts might help me frame mine. I remember tossing it away. Damn, where did I throw the thing? I checked under the desk, that turns up nothing, so I looked for the harder to reach, more unlikely locations. ... Well, now I know where that lost sock went, at least. Still, no letter, though. So when I tried sweeping my arm under my nightstand, I felt something, frankly, jammed between it and the wall. Grunting a little with the effort, I reached for my prize and soon managed to bring it into the light. Bingo. I sat on my desk and spread the crumpled paper open. Flip turns on the table light. Skipping past the empty pleasantries, I looked for the point where I stopped reading. Ah, here it is. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. Giving up on happiness. That sounds unpleasant familiar. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most. Even though I like you so much, at least now, finally I can be honest. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we'll meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. But still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means, write me back. I very much would like to hear about your new school and how you are doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Annika. After finished reading the letter, I smoothed it out carefully and set it aside on my desk. Thank you, Annika. I wanted to answer yes to your question on a snowy day, but I never got to. By the time we meet again, it was too late. Or so I thought. What would happen if I had behaved differently back in that dismantled hospital room? I'm sorry. There's no point wondering now. But there's no point in trying to forget either. I am who I am because of all that happened to me, and I look forward to experience present, future, and past. And the best past may just have taught me an important lesson now. Act 4. Motion. The sound of my alarm is an unwelcome intrusion on my sleep, but that's a battle to obtain. I doubt I've been truly asleep for more than an hour or two. Too much on my mind. Did I make the right choice leaving the house yesterday? Did I manage to get Emmy to realize how unreasonable she's been? Am I ever going to manage to get her to stop being unreasonable? Emmy's mother gave me a new perspective the other day, but I'm still not sure that it's the right perspective. She was hurt when I left yesterday too. I know that part of any conversation is going to have to include an apology about the right thing to do or not. I hurt her. I hurried down to the truck, eager to talk to Emmy. I think I know what to say. Apologizing for leaving first and go ahead from there. Unless, of course, Emmy doesn't show up. Which, from the looks of things, seems like it's the case. It's been about 15 minutes since I got here and there's no sign of her. She's never late, not unless she's sick, which is unlikely. She probably just doesn't want to see me right now. To take my mind off what that implies, I begin my warm-up routine and take off around the track. It clears my mind wonderful for the first half hour of running. I don't think about anything but the run. However, once I finish and Emmy still hasn't shown up, I get a little worried. Any luck, the nurse will know where she is. If nothing else, I can see what he thinks I should do next. So, last night didn't go too well, I take it? Huh? You already know? I have my ways, and it's not as if I missed a distant aspect of your running partner this morning, now would I? No, I suppose not. So what happened? Don't you know already? Maybe, but I could be bluffing. Perhaps I prefer to get your side of the story before I give any advice. I quickly filled the nurse in on events of last night, and he takes it all in without changing his expression once. Nothing about the whole event seems to surprise him, although he did seem surprised when I said that I didn't follow Emmy. Choose to talk to the mom instead, huh? Smart move. Though I guess it didn't work out too well for you in the end. Well, I'm not sure. Emmy seemed apologetic when I left, or at least she seemed that way until she put up her defense again. The nurse sighs, spreads his hand in a cordial gesture. Frankly, I'm surprised she let them down at all. Emmy's had a lot of practice on that score. You probably won't get anything else out of her. I don't believe you. Is that so? Do you think she'll tell you the whole tale? I swear, I just saw the nurse's eyes glitter a little. His expression is the same, but he leans forward ever so slightly. I think she'll open up if I ask her about being an idiot about it, yeah. The nurse gives his engagement smile in response and shrugs quietly. I think he's enjoying his role a little too much. That's the real trick, isn't it? Are you sure you know the right way to approach the subject? I can guarantee that Emmy's going to try her hardest to pretend that last night didn't happen. It will be painfully awkward for the both of you, but it'll also be a lot safer than trying to ask her for the whole story again. It could go worse this time. Are you ready for something like that? Sounds like a challenge, like he doesn't believe for a minute that I'll be so bold. I actually feel a little insulted by his lack of confidence in me. Of course I'm ready for that. I love her. My outburst gets a raised eyebrow in response. Well then. Good luck. Let me know how it all turns out. Although he delivers his parting shot with the same smirk as usual, I actually think the nurse wants me to succeed. Of course he wants you to succeed. He wants Emmy to be happy. Why wouldn't he? I resist to urge to charge directly to Emmy's room to prove the nurse wrong. I've gone in half-cocked before, and the rose suits were less than stellar. If I'm going to do this, I need to figure out exactly what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. Something to think about in class. Sure enough, by the time lunch rolls around, I think I have a good enough idea of what to say. I can do this. The bell rings, I grab my lunch and dash up the stairs, eager to be the first there. I need to ask Ren to leave, and I need to... Hi, Isel. Sorry I wasn't able to run with you this morning. I overslept. Somehow, both Emmy and Ren managed to get to the roof before me. That's no problem. Last night was kind of draining, I guess. Emmy's expression doesn't alter in the slightest. Yeah, sorry about that. But I had such a weird morning since then. Oh, uh-huh. Really? Emmy proceeds to make small talk for the rest of the time. I could barely get a word in edgewise, and soon find myself interjecting with a sort of back-and-forth dialogue that seemed to have defied our early relationship. I'm not going to get anywhere on this problem during lunch, obviously. I can respect that Emmy obviously doesn't want to accidentally pull Ren into things, and that's fine. Now that I think Not that I think Ren would notice, but I can at least respect that sort of ratio? I try a different tactic. Hey, Emmy, what are you up to after class? I think we should go somewhere for dinner or something. Emmy looks generally resentful. Sorry, Isel. I promised the track captain that I'd stick around after practice and help some of the other kids with their form. It'll have to be some other time. Yeah, sure. I'm honestly not sure what to do now. Maybe diving into things the day after would be a bad idea anyway. She might still be angry about it and not showing it. Besides, if she got track responsibilities, that's fine, right? I tell myself some variation on the theme the next day. Then the next, I wake up, run with Emmy, during which she refuses to talk about anything but the run and what she was doing the night before. Then lunch, where we sit and make small talk until the bell rings. Her new responsibility effectively kept me from seeing her outside of school. Maybe, just maybe, I'm letting it happen because it's safer this way, just like the nurse said. Sup? Well, it may be safer. I'm feeling more and more wretched. Emmy doesn't look good when I see her anymore. Dark circles lurk under her eyes. She seems more and more distant, and I can't bring myself to just ask what's wrong, because the timing never seems right. I'm absolutely miserable. Another lunch comes. I trudge up the stairs to the roof like a con man. Ren is up there, but Emmy is not. Immediately, I worry that something happened to her. Maybe the lack of sleep finally made her collapse, or something worse. She seems pretty tired after her morning run. Maybe she fell asleep and didn't make it to class. Hey, Ren, where's Emmy? In response, I get a rather penetrating look from Ren, and something approaching a frown appears on her face. Is that information really important? I think so. She's usually here with you, isn't she? I don't know. I have no way of being sure. I can confirm that she is, in fact, usually here with you when I come up. Well, she isn't now. Does that worry you? Kind of. That seems to end the conversation, and the point becomes moot anyway, because Emmy bounds through the door with her usual energy. His I was kind of worried about you, Emmy. I don't think he can decide, or maybe I just don't believe him. But I'm going to go somewhere less awkward now. I'm so surprised by Ren being so suddenly forward about, well, anything at all, that I merely watch her head through the door. Emmy is similar surprise and colors slightly crimson as she open mouth at me. It occurs to me that I should probably say something, if only to break the awkward silence that has suddenly descended. It's because you weren't here yet I was worried about. Why? You're usually here, so I was worried that something had happened to you. This isn't the first time that I've been late, you know. Did you get worried all the other times too? Not really. Emma seems slightly amused by this. I don't know why, but that kind of pissed me off. So, why was this time an exception? Maybe it's a light teasing tone or the question, but something in her response pushes me to be honest, though I can't help snapping at her when I say it. Because you've been worrying about me since dinner at your house. That's why. Well, now it's out in the open, and Emmy's eyes are wide, and she looks like she wants to bolt, but she doesn't. Still on that, I see. What do you think, I'm supposed to just forget about it? You threw me out of your house. We've been going for almost a week, pretending it never happened. I didn't see you bringing it up either, you know. I know, and I'm sorry that was the case. We have to address it, or we'll just keep up this whatever it is we got right now. It's killing me to look at how you look right now. Did you know that? Those circles under your eyes and the distant look in them. I can't help worry that I caused it somehow. You haven't. Trust me. Well, I haven't helped either. I keep pushing you to tell me things you aren't ready to tell me. Maybe I was wrong to try getting your mother to help me out. But I've been so worried about you that I didn't know what else to do. Well, you don't have to worry about me anymore, okay? I think it's pretty clear we're not right for each other, so maybe we should just stop. Her face is twisted as she says this, like she doesn't want to say it, but it forces herself to anyway. You don't actually think that. You don't actually want that, do you? Heck, you could barely bring yourself to say it. Anyway, it won't stop me. It won't keep me from worrying about you. I care too much about you to just stop on command. You don't want to tell me what's wrong? That's fine. But I won't stop trying to help you, even if it's just standing by you. Stop saying that. She's shaken now, and as she looks at me, I can see she's afraid and frustrated. A million different things all at once. I shake my head slowly, take a few steps towards her. You know what your mother told me? She told me that you never asked for help because you know that you're strong enough to go through anything on your own. But that's not the full story, is it? Her eyes go wide and she takes a step back. I keep going because I finally figure it out. Something tells me I won't get another shot. I put it off for far too long as it is. There is no harm in having someone help you unless you're worried about needing help in the first place. You're scared, aren't you, because of... I trailed off because I don't know for certain what happened to Emmy's father, and I don't want to jump to a conclusion. Well, never mind why. But it's okay to be afraid. You've been running from it and from me for so long, even though you know eventually you'll have to turn around and face your fear. And I'm going to be there to help you when you do. I won't stop because I think you want me. I won't stop because I don't think you want me to. You can understand that sort of determination, can you? I can see that I got through to her, but she quickly falls back to anger and tries to push me away again. Back on your white charger, hiss out. Gotta help the poor, crippled face her emotional problems. What do you know about me, and what I've already had to face? I think too much of learning to walk again was fun, but I did it, and after I did that, I had to... For a moment, it seems as if she was going to say something else, but she cuts herself off. And after all that, you don't think you can get past your fear? I can't fathom what you've been through, but to come through it and still be the sort of girl that you are, well, it makes me think that you have even more strength than you think. So I'm not going to help you because I think you need rescuing. I don't want to be a knight rescuing the damsel in distress, but even knights help each other out, you know. I want to help you even though I know you can do it on your own. For a moment, it looks like Emmy's going to break down completely, but she doesn't. Tears run down her face, but she stares at me steadily. Why are you trying so hard to help me? I say that because I owe you one, helping me out when we first met, but that wouldn't be true. The truth is, I just want you to be happy because I love you. Hadn't I ever said that before? We've been in a relationship, and it's been pretty obvious that I loved her, but did I actually ever speak the words? What did you say? I say it again, savoring the feeling of being able to say it at all. Being able to say it and mean it. Emmy seemed stunned. I said I love you, Emmy. I love you. Just you. And that makes me want to stay by your side. Want me to stand by you, no matter what. No matter what you have to face. I'm wrapped in a fierce hug then, as Emmy begins to sob against my chest. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry about everything, but I'm so scared of Sal. I'm so scared of losing you, and I love you too, but I can't lose you. I'm so sorry. I hold her quietly, shushing her until she quiet settles down. She steps back a little more composed. Will you come with me tomorrow, back to my house? There are some things I need to show you if I'm going to do this. Of course, maybe this time we can leave together instead of separately. Emmy grins, a sudden flash of brightness that seems more genuine than anything I've seen in the past week. Yeah, maybe. The lunch bell rings and I curse the universe's poor sense of timing. Are you free tonight? We can talk more then, right? Emmy shakes her head. Sorry, Hazel, but I'm still helping the track team. Plus, I don't think it would be good if we talk this over tonight. I'm going to be too tired to think properly, and I want to be able to tell you everything without screwing it up. You can wait, right? Even now, there's a bit of fear in her voice. I smile and rest a hand on her shoulder. Okay, I'll be waiting. Emmy gives me a quick kiss before she heads for the stairwell. Thanks, Hazel. See you tomorrow morning. Wouldn't miss it. I head down the stairs with the feel of her lips on mine, suddenly aware of how much I miss that sensation. I have to remember to thank Ren for getting us to talk to one another. Although it's possible she won't realize what she's done, still, if not for her, I doubt I have ever been able to confront Emmy again. I guess I needed more help than I realized. Tomorrow, however, I need to stand alone through whatever Emmy's trying to work herself up to doing. I'll be up to the task, I hope. And I'm gonna end it right here. I think we are coming to the end of her route. I think. But if not, I could be wrong. But whatever. I'm gonna end it right here. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how you like the game so far. I'm loving it. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me how your day's going. This has been a Visual Novel Gamer, and I'll see you next time. Peace.